So we're going to do a review of the Breaking Benjamin Aurora album that came out a couple weeks ago. I've had a while to listen to it, and I'm ready to give my thoughts on this album. So anyways, let's go from the list in the playlist. So it's in like whatever order they put it out in, I suppose. So the song So Cold, I'm not really sure on the meaning of the song. It's not the best vocally, and they've already done a similar cover. They did that with AOL. They did a cover for AOL, so not a great song. It's pretty average, so I think a 5 out of 10 is fair. Failure is a song I actually really liked originally. I think the vocals are lighter than the original, which feels better because the acoustic instruments used. So that's pretty good. I'm not a big fan of the backup vocalist in this one. I don't know if it's probably one of the band members. His voice was a bit too loud, and he had his own solo parts, and I was like, yeah, you're not great. Like, I don't want to be mean, but it's not great. I like the meaning of the song. Sort of a person who's sort of failed. You've gone from last to none. So instead of like being last, you just stop competing and you just had enough, and you just want to tear the whole world down. Just start everything over. That's brilliant. So I like the meaning of the song. I don't think this is as good as the original, and I think the vocals are pretty tame. Far Away, again, it's pretty tame. It's about religious stuff, which is fine. I think it's about someone being accepted into heaven. It's an okay song. Scooter Ward's voice merged well with Ben's, so that was nice. I felt like they complemented each other well, but it was tame. Not a lot of vocal range. Angels Fall, so 7 out of 10. The cello at the intro was nice, and then straight in with the guitar and the drums, really good. But again, tame vocals. It's better than the other songs, but the meaning of this song is better than the other, so it deserves a high rating just for that. I quite like this song, Angels Fall. I suppose it's about just a stand of defiance, and that's a good one. I like the original. The original was really good. I felt like the problem with this one is the fact that they had a really nice instrumental on the original, which they didn't have on the acoustic version, and so I think that it kind of makes it fall down a bit. But so that's Angels Fall. Red Cold River is just a terrible song. Like it's a 3 out of 10. Meaning the song's pretty weak. The original was bad as well. I really didn't like the Embers album that much. Instrumentals, okay, but the lyrics are poor. Chorus is way too long and repetitive. Red Cold River, run. Red Cold River. I'm just like, yeah, it's not great. I get it's about the story of the album where the guy, his daughter gets killed by that weirdo, and the main character, he goes to like some sort of witch to find out what happened. He goes to kill the guy who killed his daughter. Then the guy who the dad, he gets sent to hell because he sold himself for a witch. But after listening to the song, I can't feel anything anymore either. So run from this one. Trust me, don't bother listening to it. Unless you just want to feel like this band is dipped. The Embers album was just poor. Tourniquet is another one. Straight in intro, guitar, drums pretty great. The instrumental is good, but the lyrics are pretty average. A tourniquet is a device which applies pressure to a limb or extremity in order to limit but not stop the flow of blood. So it's used normally in emergency surgery or post-operative rehabilitation. Not really sure what the song's about. The outro was good though, so 6 out of 10. This one's really good. Dance with the Devil, featuring, I think his name's pronounced Adam Gontier. I think he was part of Red. I'm not 100% sure on that one, but Red also a good band in their own right. It's a 10. It's a 10 out of 10. It's just phenomenal. The meaning of the song is great. I think it's about the world being a rotten place and maybe making a deal with the devil. Don't look at him in the eye of fear of what he'll do, or something like that. Of the sort of like a mafia boss or something like that, where you wouldn't look him in the eye. And now you've got to dance to the devil. So maybe it means you got to lie in your own bed, or maybe it means something else. But it's ambiguous. Is what you want it to be, I guess. But I felt like the lyrics of the song were really good. It's a remake, but the original song was phenomenal as well. I felt like Adam Gontier's voice merged really well with Ben's. They made an already phenomenal song into something that's very close. That is or very close to perfection. Instrumentals very good. Vocals are clear and great. The bite at the end with the piano was great as well. And it's like someone played polymerization on these two guys' voices and turned it into something that's just even better than it was, which is something that's really hard to do. Never Again, 8 out of 10. I really like this song. The original one was really good. Vocals should have been louder, or maybe it's just my headphones. I don't know. I feel like the instrumental was a bit quiet, and I feel like on a acoustic track, I feel like the vocal should be more prominent than the backing instruments. The song's about a tree of life which gives youth, like a drink of youth or whatever, and the video is pretty clear about that, about immortality, or not immortality, but like a fountain of youth. Time will not take the life from me. I like the original, and this is great in its own right, so it's an 8 out of 10. If the vocals were more clear and a bit more dynamic, I feel like it probably would have pushed to a 9. So there's that one. Torn in Two, 7 out of 10. The low notes used are great. It gives a whole different tone to the song. The use of, I think it was a violin or a cello, made the end of the song phenomenal. A much more aggressive tone in the vocals and the backing track. Ben shows off a much more diverse range of notes, hitting the highs brilliantly. Lyrics are a bit weak and hold the song a bit back a bit. Yeah, I don't think the lyrics were the best. Broken, I Crawl Back to Life. I think it's about a guy who's just. I'm not 100% sure. The video makes it a bit clearer on the Embers album. It's about a guy. I think he sort of got revenge for his daughter, but they've been separated because she's in heaven and he's in hell. So look into that what you will. I thought it was a good song, 7 out of 10. And we go to the finale. Really, The Agony was just brilliant, and it's just a 15 out of 10. Purely because I could stick any number above 10, just because it was that good. The choice of instruments used with made the perfect setting. Set a sad tone straight away. The person featured in the song, Lacey Strum, added to the vocals brilliantly. Her vocals merged with Ben's really well. It's like when Jaden summoned God Neos, really. It was just like, wow, it was just really unexpected. The original song will always hold a special place for me, and they remade a perfect song and made another perfect song. And how many times can you say that? Song, I think, is really about a person who suffered for so long, and I think once either help facing the problem, or just be put out of their misery, just to be done with it. Suffered slowly. A person who is at the end and feels like they don't feel anything anymore. Just let go of me. I'm done. And it's brilliant, and it's perfect for any sad situation, any AMVs. I watched a few AMVs with this song. There's a good Resident Evil one from the games I watched, which was just phenomenal. And stuff like that, really. And you can set a really sad tone just with the song alone. I can't give an insane number because it'll boost the album overall too much, which wouldn't be right. I feel like it's done that anyway. So there's 7.3 out of 10, or 73%, which is probably seems quite high, but it's just really because of this song and Dance with the Devil that it's got as high mark as it has, because those two songs were outstanding. Q average marks 8 out of 10. It means it's quite a good song. Maybe it's generous, I don't know. I'm a fan, and I set the bar for them very high. And so I won't judge them to the standard of other bands. I'll judge them to the standard of what I've set for them. So, like the Starset Third album, I didn't think was great. It might be a good album in its own right, but compared to the work they've done previously, I feel like it's unfair. But anyways, I feel like there's some songs that probably should have been used in this album instead of some of the ones used. I feel like Defeated, that was a really good song. I Will Not Bow, that's classic Breaking Benjamin. Until the End, which is, they've done an acoustic version of that live, and it's just phenomenal. Breathe, another one. And I think overall the mix was slightly off. The instrumentals were way too loud, and there wasn't enough diverse range of vocals. I read there's some conflicting comments where some people are saying that it's he's reused old audio from the original songs, and somewhere he says he just redid it, but he made it sound like how the song sounded before. And I was like, that's pretty lazy, because I feel like when you do an acoustic album, it's got to be unique in its own right. Sort of like Breaking Benjamin, when they've done some of their acoustic versions of their other songs. I think Breathe is one where they change it up a bit, and I feel like it's important to do that if you do an acoustic version of a song, because it's very different to the original. And I feel like Angels Fall is a good example of that, where the original instrumental sounds very different to the new Aurora instrumental. But I feel like it's fair. I think a 7.3, 7 out of 10 is fair. It's a good album. Embers was, it's close to a 5 or a 4 maybe. I'd have to a separate review of that if anyone's interested in that. But I think, that's my album review. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I don't get any fanboys in my comments saying that, oh, it's a brilliant album, I'm just a hater. Come at me with substance. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.